Hey, what's up guys? Chris here, back with another tea talk. So tonight I'm drinking another tea that I chose because I like the packaging. So it's a Fukamushicha from the Chiran area of Kagoshima. So a couple videos ago, I talked about Kagoshima tea, and specifically tea that comes from Chiran. But just a reminder, Kagoshima is at the bottom of mainland Japan on the island of Kyushu. And Fukamushicha is deeply steamed green tea, a sencha. And when I say deeply steamed, it means like up to 30 seconds, which is considered a very long time in Japanese tea. And the Chiran area of Kagoshima is, as I said in the last video, is a well-known tea growing area, as well as being famous for its air base during World War II, where the kamikaze took off, to go on to attack Allied warships and different regions of the Pacific. But go watch that video. I talk a little bit more in depth about the Kagoshima and also the kamikaze. Excuse me, can't shake this cough from COVID, so I'm coughing throughout these videos lately, but hopefully that's okay. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so I chose this tea because I like the packaging, specifically the ribbon or string here. So this is what's called a Kazarihimo, or decorative string or ribbon. And there's lots of different uses for Kazarihimo in Japanese culture. Specifically, they tend to show up on envelopes. So in Japanese culture, envelopes, how can I explain it? There are different envelopes for different occasions in Japanese culture, more so than I would say in Western culture, where you would usually just use like a plain envelope for a birthday card or something like that. But like I said, there's multiple uses for envelopes and different envelopes to use for different occasions in Japanese culture. One occasion would be for weddings. So the envelope for that would be called shugi bukuro. And it would be tied with a mizuhiki knot. So this is using washi paper instead of the ribbon to tie like a decorative knot for that. Another occasion would be for like funerals or condolence letters, and those are called koden bukuro. And so this would be like similar to if you are a Catholic, like I grew up in Catholicism. This would be for sending mass cards or something like that when a person dies. And again, the mizuhiki knot would be used, but the colors of the ribbons that you use would be different. I think in weddings they tend to be like red and maybe like a little bit of yellow, where for the funeral envelopes it's strictly black and white. And another use for the Kazarihimo would be for haori, which are the outer jackets worn over male kimonos usually, but now women wear haori as well. But the specific string for that is called a haorihimo. So you would see haori used, like I said, in formal occasions when men would wear kimono. So in my last video or the video before that, I talked about Japanese weddings. So that is an occasion where you would wear a kimono, and so you would put the haori over the kimono top and tie it with a specific knot called or a specific ribbon called a haori himo. other occasions for kimono, like you might see sumo wrestlers wearing them, and just very formal occasions. But for a personal story of Kazarihimo that I have is when I was at the end of my teaching career or period, when I taught English in Japan in 2015. I had planned to go to Okinawa at the end of my, when my contract ended, and I had a little bit of time before I went back to New York. But around that time, the popular, mass market tea company Ito-En, which you can find in most delis, like the Oyocha tea, you can find in most delis here in New York, but also in convenience stores in Japan, of course. But they had released a very fancy kind of tea or Oyocha that came in a glass bottle. There was like fabric on top covering the top there, and it was tied with Kazarihimo. And me being a tea addict, and of course wanted to try it. It cost 1,000 yen, which is approximately like $10. So it was a little bit expensive, but I bought it and I brought it to Okinawa with me, and I opened it after I went to Shuri Castle, and also visited a couple karate dojo on my first day there. So to sort of commemorate, a mission accomplished. I had completed my teaching contract, and also I was in a place that I had always wanted to be, with Okinawa being the birthplace of karate, the martial art that I practice. Although I practice a Japanese, more mainland Japanese style of karate, Okinawa, of course, being the birthplace of karate, I was just very happy to be there and be surrounded by karate and Okinawan culture. So I used that occasion to open up that tea bottle, and it was, it tasted normal, like normal oyocha, but it was a special occasion for me. Being that I don't drink, like I said, it was just a celebratory thing that I did in my little tiny hostel room in Okinawa. But yeah, that's a personal story that I have with Kazarihimo. So I didn't open this because I wanted to show you the string and the knot, but I'm gonna open it now and have some tea. Hopefully it's as good as I expect it to be. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.